Okay, here we are on June 1st, the first day of the month. We picked up 4 new clients today. Um, since I don't have a lot of time on these calls, I try to, when I have a very busy day, I had 14 appointments, I think, today. I don't know how many showed, but it was probably about 70% show rate. So about maybe 10 showed, and then 3 got rescheduled, and 1 was not qualified, or 2 were not qualified, somewhere around there. I don't know the exact number, but it was, you know, if you look at why agencies get successful, and you look at why growth happens. I was talking to a person who uh, is doing maybe 6 more accounts per month, and they are accepting that as their existence. And we'll probably, by the end of the day today, I'm sure we'll have probably 1 more sale, so we'll probably have 5 um, sales in today, and maybe even we'll get to 6 today if we get one sort of at after work when people go look at the agreements. And it always boggled my mind why we were so low in our acquisition counts. Meaning, I can remember the days when we would literally just be happy with 1 sale a week, and that would be a big deal. Or 2 sales a week would be like great. 3 would be amazing. And now we expect 3 a day, 4 a day, and even trying to see what we can do. I mean, the real goal I've proposed to my team is to do 100 new accounts per month. We've reached almost, I think, 50 each month for the last couple of months. So I don't have an exact number, but it's around that number. Um, and when you start to do the numbers like that, you really realize what the success is. And the success comes to very simple equations, which is that as money comes into the business, you have to make it all go out as soon as possible, especially when you're growing. You've got to be extremely thoughtful about where the money's going, but you need to run the machines. It's almost like, it's hard to describe it because it takes some time to fathom, but in order to really get like the wheels spinning on an equation so that you get enough horsepower, like in the company, you have to spin the wheels really fast to break everything. And I found this out when I said, look, we're just going to go for it. Like, I'm going to just dip into our funds, and, we'll take it in the nose, but we're going to run it hot and see what happens. And I started to run ads, um, up to $4,000 a day of ad spend, which seemed insane. But what it does is it creates adhesion with, when we ran ads. And you don't have to run ads. You could do all sorts of things. You could hire people to do outbound outreach. You could do email marketing. You could do SEO. But for us, it's just whatever. It's running ads. But it's putting the money back into the company, um, and forcing the things to break. And what I mean by that is that when you look at the agency roles that happen when you start to grow an agency or grow a business in general, is that it's always the chicken or the egg syndrome, which is that, do you build your support first to start to be able to handle the incoming load, or you do the load first and make the support happen? And 9 times out of 10, it is, you gotta put the load in to make the support happen, because the support, to support like dozens of accounts coming in weekly, you're looking at like not knowing how to build it because you don't have it. And I think when you have it, you're forced to make it. And I think that's why, that's the real sort of solution. We had a saying in the company: "We're not ready yet. We're not ready yet." So I always would push on my team. I remember in February of this year, and I said, I want to start running, and we're not ready yet. We're not ready yet. And I just turned on the ads, and and it got everybody a little bit upset. But boy, did we learn what we were capable of, which was we screwed it up quite a bit, and we're still, it's difficult because we're still getting ourselves stretched out. There's lots of and ifs and buts in all of this. But the lesson learned is to really um, force feed the activities so that the back end and support and mechanisms to build the back end of the agency get forced to think um, and conjecture back and forth about what's the best way to do things when there's a lot of things happening, and there will be breakage and things will get broken and people will get upset. But I look at what we were doing maybe last year at the same time, and we could have already done this. And it's funny because I look back on the time and I'm like, well, we should have just been doing this all along. But, again, that's why I'm creating this journal, to see what I'm talking about and to help you as a listener to think through these things. So now, you look at, like, we're trying to now go up to our new goal is to go to 300,000 a month in recurring revenue, and we're growing. We're in the probably 220s now, or we're scheduled to get into the 220s. That's the kind of concept we're at right now. Um, and and I think that growth can only really happen if we force ourselves to upgrade our thinking processes every single time, and bringing people into the company who have got a bigger vision too, who can see things with you, to open up eyes that can't be necessarily opened unless there's like someone who can see something that you can't see. And a lot of the things that we're doing now are putting the pieces from a functional standpoint, from production through support through upgrade, right? So it's not just about bringing new clients on, it's getting a relationship, um, and multiple people involved in the relationship so that they can see and help clients have different conversations. And I know that one of the things that's helping is that we're really trying to concentrate on just driving value without driving cost for our clients first, and then taking them to the next stage. So, these are the things that I'm thinking about, which are, what are the things that we can do to help guide our clients on making more revenue without adding in more costs initially, so that before we go in even into an upgrade position with them to get them to the next level within our service structure, is that we actually have a thought process around, here's the things that we're going to do to help your business grow without needing to ask you for more money. And then when we've provided enough value, and we go back and ask for a true upgrade, which would get them to the next level, and there would be a need to upgrade to get additional support, then now we've got some value that we've built, and it would make sense because everybody wants to have good value based off of what they're doing. So I think that's something to really think about, and this journal entry talks, or has talked more about, just trying to think through the one thing that will help you, one or two things in this case, with the putting the money back in, but also the value up ladder on the back end without cost initially. So those two things, think about that as you grow through what you're trying to accomplish. See you in the next time.